You know, I mean, we were trying to not come out as just dummies. So we were trying for stuff that was a bit poetry and a bit this and a bit artistic and a bit new and stuff. We were trying to be big in America, for instance. See, I mean, like you had a lot of groups who'd gone over to America and who'd played fifth on the bill. People who were really top here had gone over to America and played fifth or 20th on the bill to kind of Tommy James and the Shondells, who were sort of big then. Never heard of them here much. So we said, well, we'll wait till we get a number one, then we'll go to America, because that's the way to do it, which it was, you know, because we arrived, and we were huge.
That was 1964, and the following 2 years saw worldwide Beatlemania, which they used in order to push forward towards songs like Eleanor Rigby.
I had the song, that's right. I just sat down at the piano and got that first line about Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been. That came out of the blue. You know, I just didn't know where that came from. So I didn't have a name. I had something like Daisy Mackenzie or something, just a name I knew I didn't really like. I could do better than. I had just some name, but I had this bit about picks up the rice in the church where a wedding's been. So then I had to, like, explain myself. You know, what's that about? What's she doing? I had to sort of think, what do those words say? Picks up the rice in the church. Oh, good, so she's a lonely old lady type. And you could sort of continue it from there. I remember walking around Bristol one night looking for a name, because I wanted a kind of really nice name that didn't sound wrong. It sounded like someone's name, but sounded different enough and wasn't just, you know, Valerie Higgins. It wasn't just sort of, you know, it was a little bit more evocative. And I saw a shop which was Rigby's, and I thought, oh, that's a great name, Rigby, you know, because it's kind of, it's normal, but it's got a little extra thing to it. And then Eleanor just sort of worked with that. So then I got Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been, and then it just all kind of flowed from there.
What's the longest you've ever worked over a song? Because a lot of the lyrics are, the more you read them, the more, and they always read very straightforwardly and seamlessly, but when you read them again and again, they're very complicated, a lot of internal rhyming going on, and a lot of extremely clever play. Do you work on them quite hard? Do you go over them again and again?
Well, you know, I'm a fan of all that, the old-fashioned writing, you know, sort of Sammy Carnes era, you know, Cole Porter. And I do like all that. I mean, when it comes off, I mean, I hate just silly rhymes, just, you know, but when it really comes off, I think those are the great little things in songwriting. So I was always aware of that from people like Cole Porter. So I'd always try and put something like that kind of thing in, you know, so the little internal rhymes, you were always going for that kind of thing. But it's nothing you can really explain, you know. It's funny in a way trying to talk about music, because music isn't words. If you could really talk about it, it wouldn't be music. I mean, you don't sit around like sort of, you imagine poets do, sort of striking out words in millions of manuscripts where they kind of put the boiler, no, the oven, you know, and gone through all the words and the permutations. I've never done that, you know. I can't explain it, you know. I've never been able to explain it, but it's like it comes in out of the blue. It sort of comes at you, you know, and I'm sure the funnel that it's coming through has a lot to do with it, because your little computer in here, my computer's sort of heard Billy Cotton Band Show going back there, you know, and Cole Porter there, and this there, and it's heard millions of influences through to Chuck Berry, James. So I suppose it will filter out a lot of stuff I don't like, and that must be very much what, like, my songs are about. But I've always felt like it's not me doing it, really. Not in a sort of strange way, like, you know, Beethoven's coming to me, I'm writing new sonatas. He's contacted me, you know. But just that it sort of just comes, you know, all the best little bits of melody. I mean, I just fell out of bed one morning and had the tune yesterday. And I don't know how I got that. I just had it. And I thought, oh, I like that one. That's a nice one. And I didn't have any words, so for weeks that was scrambled egg. You know, scrambled egg, oh, baby, I love your legs. You know, and like Michelle was like a joke French tune. Just when you go to the party or something, you know, this little thing, you know, and you're like, That's all that was, you know. And then after a while, he said, well, it's quite a good tune, that, you know. Let's put some real words to it. When I'm 64, I had that song when I was a kid. You know, so I had that when I was about 16. I never did anything with it till I was about 24, and then we put words to it. We put all those words to it. I was about 24, 25 or something. On the thing, it's like magic. It is a kind of magic. You're just plonking along on a chord, and you decide to sort of, for some reason, you decide to reach out and see what's there, see what you can pull down. I mean, you can do it any time, you know. You can just, you know, I mean, it's probably be crummy, but, you know, you can, you know, Melvin Bragg was in the parlor and he said that he was going to have some tea. You know, I mean, you know, that's not very good, but you could work on that. Melvin Bragg was in the parlor and he was going to have some tea. Will you have some tea with me, Melvin Bragg? It's not a good name, this is the only problem.
Go around Bristol again.
Now, Melvin Rigby...
we could do something with, yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? I mean, that's not good. But that's the kind of thing it comes from. You just dare enough to... I mean, you know, that's silly. I shouldn't dare to do that. I'm showing what a lousy writer I am, you know. You see what I mean? But that's what it all comes out of. You just plonk along anything. And it can be bad 3 times, but then maybe the 4th time, the little bit of inspiration will come on that. And just the one little thing will turn that into something good. You know, maybe one of the chords was a bit boring there, you know, and you'd work on those chords and just find another little chord that just made it go somewhere else. It's that pulling it all in, you know. Far have I traveled, and much have I seen, dark distant mountains with valleys of green, as painted deserts. But sunset of fun as you carry me on through a morning sky. Morning sky, my desire is always to be here. It's okay, it's kind of fun for me to carry those choruses a little bit more, isn't it? I'll go out somewhere there. I sort of think there is a great inspirational thing if you can get a good song. You know, I've had that kind of thing myself where I've been feeling lousy and you just heard a song and you sort of, and it lifts you, you know. Great value of music. I remember me and my mate Ian James used to knock around, teenage mates, you know, used to both have the fleck jackets, you know, a little flat on the pocket. And we used to knock around the fairgrounds and stuff. And we'd be feeling lousy one day and we used to go back and play an Elvis 78, you know, like Don't Be Cruel. And you'd be right up there again, you know, just cured any blues, you know.
And that's why you enjoy hearing your songs coming out of record shops or people coming up and say that they like them.
Or milkmen whistling them.
Yeah.
That's a big thrill. Actually, I heard a bird whistle one of mine. Yes, folks, he is crackers. I did one morning, you know, dawn. I heard a little bird go... It's the beginning from me to you. I swear I did. I probably was out of it. It probably wasn't true at all.
You could feel after the Beatles broke up that you took a lot of stick for a little while after that.
Yeah, well...
Did it bother you?
Yeah, did it bother me? Yeah. When the Beatles split up, John did a big kind of thing about me, kind of saying, you know, it's all Muzak, it's a load of rubbish, and you couldn't rock if you tried and all that, which was all rubbish itself, of course, I think. But it did put me off for a while. You know, I must say I'm a bit gullible like that. I kind of listen to people like that. And I sort of listened to them for a few years there and used to think, you know, can't write another of those soppy love songs, you know, God, I keep writing those, you know, got to get off all that, got to get hard and rocking, you know. But I mean, in the end, I sort of say, I've got to be myself, really. You know, if I like all that, well, I just got to do it, you know. It's the worst to be ashamed of it. I mean, I think it's bolder to say, what the hell? You know, I like it, and maybe soppy, you know.
You couldn't have made it much more difficult for yourself after the Beatles, because you decided to form a new band, and as a bass guitarist, it's quite hard to form a band around the bass guitar, isn't it? And then you brought Linda in.
It was the only thing I could think of to do, you know, and that's about the craziest thing you can do, bring in your wife who's not had any previous musical experience. But, you know, again,
looking back, why did you stack the odds so highly?
Well, I really think I was stacking the odds. I mean, I thought I was doing just what I knew how to do. The only way I knew how to do it was just get back on the boards again with anything.
Why would you with any kind of band to go out and perform?
Don't know. I think because I was feeling like just the longer I waited with another day of no work, another day of nothing to go to, the more I was just getting stagnant. It's a bit like sort of after an operation where you want to rest, but you've got to push it because your body's just going to go downhill all the time, you know. And I just had